Hey guys, Baddies Going Wild, episode 2, review slash recap. If you're watching me on TikTok, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube. And if you're watching me on YouTube, make sure you follow me on TikTok. So we pick up where we left off at the end of episode 1. Daisy is upset because she noticed that Cupcake and Coco were jumping into Bahati and Teetee's fight. They were trying to jump Bahati because they felt like she was biting Teetee and that was wrong. But Daisy felt like them jumping Bahati was wrong, so she was on that. The first round that Coco and Daisy had, they both were swinging, but I'm going to give it to Daisy. It looked like she was hitting a little bit harder and connecting a little bit more. Coco was kind of swimming. So Rella said that Bahati was biting TT. Bahati said she wasn't. From what we saw in the little clip that they showed us, it did look like Bahati was grabbing TT leg and she was trying to bite. So I don't know why she's trying to deny it now. You already said in your confessionals you fight dirty and you going to break all the rules. That's why I told y'all these first couple episodes, I am giving Bahati a most valuable baddie slot, but I do feel like by the end of the season, I might not feel the same way about her. I'm being fair that right now she's a star of the show, but I do see things that she's doing that I don't really like that in the long run, I feel like she might not end up being one of my favorites. So Bahati was all like, why would I bite you? Teetee said, because you're a loser. So then Daisy was telling the security to get off of her because she was tired. So she clearly wanted to take a break, but then Coco decides that she wants to go again. So of course Daisy wasn't turning it down. So all of a sudden she wasn't tired no more. And her and Coco went a second round. The second round between Daisy and Coco was more even. That one I will say was a tie. We get another confessional from the big sloppy musty looking security guard. Where is Aunt the Guardian? That's who we wanted for the confessionals. So Natalie is basically saying, okay, ladies, enough, because she wants them to go and pick their rooms. But then Rella steps up and she's like, no, she snuck me, so I need another round with Bahati. So now they square up and Bahati tears Rella up once again. I mean, Rella did a little better, I guess. Like at the end, she got a couple hits, but when they first started fighting, like Bahati was hitting her and she wasn't even doing nothing. It was like weird. She was kind of delayed. And Bahati ended up getting Rella's shoe off of her foot and it looked like she threw it off the balcony. That's what she said in her confessional. So Natalie says, okay, ladies, enough is enough. Time to go find your rooms. And when y'all find your rooms, come back downstairs and we're going to have like a house meeting or a baddie toast o'clock. So they all started running to find their rooms, very BGC coded. So first up, we see that Hurricane M and Gloss Up are rooming together. Then we see that Cupcake and Teetee are rooming together, and they got the master bedroom. Now, Teetee really got the master bed. She got the biggest bed. But so Cupcake was in her confessional popping it, talking about she got the master bedroom because she's that B, when really Teetee got the master bed. But okay. And then Teetee was in her confessional basically saying that she got the master bedroom, and if anybody coming here trying to take her room or telling her that she got to get out is going to be a problem because nobody moves her. So then we see Shay, Jaidyn, Oxy, and Coco in a room. Shay is asking Jaidyn, do she want to sleep with her? Because there's only 3 beds in the room. And I guess all 4 of them wanted to stay together, but the room only got 3 beds. So Shay, Jaidyn, and Oxy decide to push them 2 little beds together, and all 3 of them going to sleep on them 2 little beds, but Coco getting her own bed. Shay says she wanted to room with Oxy and Jaidyn because they all from the Midwest. I personally think that Shay and Jaidyn are bumping cats, but we're going to get into that later in the episode. Then last, we see Janellis, Rella, and Erica go into a room, and it was kind of one bed that was on its own side of the room. So when they first walked in, Janellis was like, I want that bed. But when she saw that Rella got there first, she kind of just was like, you got it. I thought they was about to have an issue over that. And then last, we see that Daisy and Bahati are in a room together, and Bahati basically says in her confessional that she's tired because she fought so many times today, but the master bedroom is supposed to be hers, so tomorrow she's going to be coming for the master bedroom. So Natalie gets all of the girls together to do this baddie toast the clock / house meeting. She reminds them that there's 50K on the line. The fans will be voting every episode for the most valuable baddie, and she also will be giving away baddies chains. Teetee is in her confessional saying she feel like she got this in the bag. She's definitely going to be the fan favorite. And then Natalie going to tell them, just remember there's no friends in the baddies house. And I also recently saw Natalie on social media saying that she would never bring Low London on another season of Baddies because that's her real friend and this show is too messy. So I'm just like, what are Jayla and Scotty? Like, are they not her real friends? Because, I mean, well, we know Natalie ain't Scotty real friend, but she be really trying to act like she Jayla real friend, so the girls end up doing the whole wild bees take shots, wild bees take shots. They tell Natalie that Daisy came up with it. Daisy takes her credit. So then once again, Natalie asks everybody, do they have anything to get off their chest? Daisy and Coco start asking each other if they want to fight. They end up going another round. I guess this is what, their 3rd round this episode. And in her confessional, Coco basically said they was taking shots and she just decided that she wanted to fight Daisy again. I guess she felt like she lost the first 2 rounds. She wanted to try to get her lick back, but she didn't because this was how her eye looked after the 3rd round. You should have left it alone. And Rella in her confessional talking about Coco eye, look at all them scratches on your face. Y'all both need to get checked out by the medical. Then Janella starts telling Shay to address her problem. So clearly she wants to fight Shay. She said something about Shay just really bothered her. She's clearly still mad about Shay saying on the bus that she didn't like any of the celebrity and online pics. So clearly Janellis is just not done. And I don't know why Janelle's wanted another round. Like, I do like her personality. Her confessionals be making me laugh. You know, she uses a lot of New York City lingo, which I could obviously identify with. So it's like, I want to like her. But she keep acting like she's so tough. Like, she came in with her first confessional talking about, I wash bitches. I haven't seen you wash a bitch yet. You keep getting washed. Like this round with her and Shay. She was all over the place. Shay had her swimming all over the place. She couldn't control herself whatsoever. She hit Cupcake by accident. So Natalie does a last toast with them. She basically tells them she's leaving. She won't be staying with them in the house, but she will be on standby just in case anything gets too crazy and she needs to intervene. She also mentions that there won't be security in the house at all times because there are going to be 24-hour cameras. They're going to be together for 24 hours a day and they're going to be filming with the in-house cameras 24 hours a day. So security might not always be there when stuff breaks out and the girls might have to break up their own fights. So a majority of the girls go into confessionals together. They do a confessional and basically say, you know, this is Baddies Going Wild season 1. We about to turn up. And then Ming was just doing the most, talking about SMD. Anybody watching at home, you could SMD. And we on TV and y'all not. Ming, shut up. And from there, we kind of see the girls breaking off into groups. So we see one room is Cupcake, Teetee, and Rella. Another room is Oxy, Shay, and Jaidyn. And then we have this room with Erica, Ming, Gloss Up, Janellis, and a couple of other people. I'm not really sure where Coco and Daisy were at this time. So Cupcake was asking Rella and Teetee were they going to keep Bahati in the house since they keep going at it with her. Teetee basically says she's done with Bahati. She's ready for the next person. She feel like she got Bahati good enough. Jaidyn, Shay, and Oxy was basically talking about how all of the girls was getting into it in front of the house and they was fighting on the bare concrete and how every time somebody fell on the ground they could hear the connections. And Jaidyn was basically saying she wished that she would have waited to fight Hurricane M when they got in the house. So I guess she's in pain now from getting scraped up on that concrete. And then Gloss Up was basically in her room with the girls saying how once Daisy beat Shay up, she was on Murt. You know, she say mute like Glorilla because they from the same place. Music and Murt. But she says she obviously not really feeling Shay either because Shay keeps saying she got a problem with the online and celebrity pics, which is why her and Daisy got into it in the first place. And obviously Gloss Up is a celebrity pic too. But Gloss Up said every time she say something to Shay about it, Shay basically be like, I'm not talking about you. I feel like on episode 1, Shay told Gloss Up, you the only one I actually knew as a celebrity, but yeah, I still feel away. I don't think she said she didn't feel away, but that's what Gloss Up is saying. So I don't know. I feel like it's tension between them. Eventually something's going to happen between Gloss Up and Shay, but Gloss Up just need to say what she need to say to Shay face. So then we see Shay talking about, oh, we can't go upstairs because Daisy and Bahati upstairs. And Jaidyn was like, well, I like Bahati and I feel like I like Daisy too because Daisy stood up for Bahati when everybody was trying to jump on her. So I still want to go upstairs. I'm like, Shay, why would you say you can't go upstairs because somebody you don't like is up there? This is like the Bad Girls Club. This is Baddies. It don't matter if you don't like somebody or if you got beef with somebody. That shouldn't dictate whether you gonna go upstairs or not. Like, Shay, are you scary? But anyway, they all decide to go upstairs to their little day lounge, you know, pool area. But before that, we see Rella have a solo confessional. Rella trying to make herself feel better about these scratches on her face, talking about she still looks good. She loves scratches. It makes her look like a warrior. And she done got into 5 squabbles today and she got snuck. Rella, please. So when Jaidyn came out, Daisy was like, come on, sit down. We want to talk to you. And Bahati was like, yeah, I wanted to talk to you because I felt the way about you laughing on the bus when I was getting into it with the other girls. So I guess Bahati felt like her and Jaidyn was cool. So why was Jaidyn basically laughing at her when she was getting into it with the girls? She said she wasn't personally laughing at Bahati. She was just laughing at everything and laughing at the whole situation. Like, y'all fighting on the bus, y'all acting a fool. So I'm just laughing at the whole thing. And Bahati was in her confessional talking about she was offended and hurt because Jaidyn don't know these bees. Do Jaidyn know you? Like, I'm confused. Was Jaidyn and Bahati friends before the show? I don't know. But anyway, they end up hugging it out. It wasn't that serious to begin with. So then Jaidyn told Daisy that she liked how she stuck up for Bahati. And Daisy was like, yeah, you know, I didn't like how everybody was all down her throat. And on top of that, she was getting tore up. Like, she told Bahati to her face, yeah, you was winning the fights with Rella, but TT was tearing you up. So then we just get a scene with all of the girls getting into the pool, drinking, having a good time. Once again, very bad girls club coded. They're doing their wild bees take shots. Wild bees take shots. Shay has taken all of her clothes off. She's naked. Kind of BGC coded as well, but I also understood what Janellis was saying as far as like she looked like a thought and she's doing too much for the cameras. But on the Bad Girls Club, there's definitely always that one person. But Ming was impressed by Shay, and she was in her confessional talking about she's looking at Shay, and Shay got it, and this, that, and the third child. Janella said, Shay, you look a mess. She just does too much. Then all of a sudden, Shay and Ming go upstairs to a separate hot tub and they start kissing. All the girls are watching them. Again, very bad girls club coded. There was always a time or an episode on each season where two of the girls would get together in the house and it might cause drama later on. So we'll just have to see. I think it is because I think next episode, Ming and Shay are going to fight. Ming is in her confessionals talking about that wasn't supposed to happen and it'll never happen again. We'll see. So all of the girls basically go to change their clothes. Some of them get into their actual swimsuits and they just go back up to, it looks like a different pool area. So everything is going good. Everybody's kind of getting along a little bit, just talking, getting to know each other. And then Daisy was being messy right here. She was definitely stirring the pot. She starts asking Jaidyn and Emery what's their beef, what were they fighting for in the first place. And you could tell that Emery didn't really want to talk about it. She was kind of like, we had an issue. Like, it is what it is. We already fought twice. Why are we still talking about it? But Daisy was like, well, I want to know why y'all was fighting. Like, I need to know the reason. And Emery was like, obviously, once people start talking about why they had beef with somebody, the two people who had beef are going to start arguing again and going back and forth because they don't agree with each other. They don't see the situation the same way. That's why they beefing in the first place. But when they started talking about it, I'm not going to lie, Emery was kind of losing me because she was basically saying, you and your mom didn't want to fight me 2 years ago when we had the issue about your mom saying the N-word. So why you want to fight me now? Why you coming on this show wanting to fight me now? And Jaidyn was basically like, first of all, it's not that we didn't want to fight you back then. It's just that we talked it out. But also, Jaidyn is not the person who brought their beef up on this show. When they first got on that bus, Emery started with Jaidyn and she was like, oh, you're a replacement. And then she was in her confessionals first explaining to us the situation that happened. So I do feel like once Emery saw Jaidyn, she started the problem back up. It wasn't Jaidyn who started it back up. It was Emery because she knew it was a storyline. So you could tell Jaidyn didn't really want to fight. Emery kept yelling, talking about, do you want to fight? Do you want to fight? Daisy was basically saying, like, Jaidyn, you're being pussy. Why are you letting somebody tell you they want to fight you or they going to fight you later? Jaidyn starts talking about she don't want to fight without her swim cap because Emery be pulling hair. Jaidyn walks off to go get her swim cap. She comes back. Her and Emery continue to go back and forth, and then they end up fighting. This was stupid. But Daisy definitely put that battery in Jaidyn back to go get that swim cap and stand up for herself, pretty much. But Daisy is also the one that brought the conversation up that stirred the pot up again in the first place. So Hurricane M beat Jaidyn up. The girls had to break it up themselves, so I guess no security was present at this time. And then the girls decide that they're going to go out to the club for their first hosting. So we see them all getting ready. And like Janella said, hopefully they could go out and they could do a hosting and have a good time without fighting. You know, let's see if they really are like the baddies. Are y'all able to fight in the house and then go outside and handle business and collect y'all bag? The girls mentioned in the club that Ming did not come with them. Ming is asleep in the house. So they said when they get back to the house, they're going to wake Ming up. This confessional that Erica had was cute. I can't wait to see a little bit more of her personality. I have seen some clips showing that she is going to get in the paint later this season. So her personality is going to come out. But I did like this confessional. It was funny. She said her favorite thing about the club is girls throwing ass on her. When you see her in the club, she's catching ass. When they get to the club, Shay already seems like she's drunk. She basically falls out of the car looking a mess. Get yourself together. And Coco Chanel has some shades on right here, you see. So she popped out even though Daisy messed up her eye. And she was like, you know, the girls didn't even think I was going to come out cute like that. So she's feeling herself. So we see the girls doing their first hosting. It looks successful. They have a good time. They're partying. I didn't see anybody doing music like we see the baddies doing. Like there wasn't any performing going on. And I know that Rella does music and a few of the other girls. So I wonder why they weren't performing. Maybe eventually they will start. Bahati said that Australian clubs are more dressy than the clubs in Brazil. She felt like everybody was kind of casual. The girls weren't as dressed up as she's used to. And I'm not even trying to be funny, but can somebody please explain to me what is going on with Cupcake's stomach here? because I don't want to be offensive if it's something that she didn't do to herself. Like, if it's because of surgery that she did, then I could say what I really want to say. But if it's for another reason, I don't want to be disrespectful or offensive. So y'all let me know in the comments what could make somebody's stomach look like this before I give any opinions on it. So the girls get back to the house from their club hosting. We see a lot of the girls are obviously hungry. They've been drinking all night. They've been partying. They've been hosting a club. So they're eating. They're warming up their food. And Cupcake is pulling Daisy to the side, basically saying that she wants to talk to Daisy about something really serious. And Daisy basically said that she felt like Cupcake and Bahati and Teetee could all work their issues out because it's really not that deep. So she decided to take all four of them in the bathroom so that she could try to mediate the situation and talk it out with them. And I'm assuming she wanted to do it in the bathroom because there's no cameras in the bathroom for the ladies' privacy, and their conversation wouldn't really be filmed or heard. Now, all of a sudden, we see Jaidyn's drunk ass walking around, and she's talking about, oh, I'm ready to go to bed, but I'm looking for my roommate. Before I go to bed, I need to find Shay. Why do you need to find Shay before you go to bed? And remember what I told y'all earlier when I said they pushed their beds together and was talking about they was going to sleep together, and I said I felt like they was bumping cats, and I was going to explain why later. This is why. Because why are you drunk walking around talking about you need to find this girl so you could go lay down and go to bed? Take your ass to bed. So Jaidyn slides the bathroom door open, and Daisy is like, you interrupting our conversation. We not even 5 minutes into our conversation. What are you doing? Can you please get out? Now, that's how Daisy was saying it in her confessional. But from what we see in this camera, it does look like as soon as Jaidyn opened that door, Daisy probably pushed her out and said, girl, get out. I'm talking to them in private. She wasn't as nice about it as she was in a confessional in real life. So I do see where some of the people in the comments are coming from when they saying like they feel like Daisy is a bully, or she's doing too much, or she really is Rolly Jr., where she feel like she just runs the show. But for now, I do still like her, and she's definitely one of the most entertaining to me right now. Now, I don't even know if Shay was actually in the bathroom, because from what Daisy said, the people she was taking in the bathroom was Cupcake, Bahati, and Teetee. So I don't even know if Shay was in there. But I'm going to give Jaidyn her little props for her liquid courage. Every time Daisy pushed her out, she kept reopening the door, even though at the end of the day, she should have just took her drunk ass to bed, because you didn't need Shay to go to bed. And I don't even think Shay was in that bathroom. So you basically ended up getting beat up for no reason, because at some point Jaidyn decided to swing on Daisy when Daisy pushed her out of the bathroom again. So once she swung on Daisy, Daisy came out and was beating on Jaidyn. Teetee broke it up. Jaidyn was like, yeah, I was so drunk and I swung on the biggest, best fighter in the house. So after the fight, Daisy was in her confessional. She basically said when she came out the bathroom and was punching on Jaidyn, Jaidyn was like, oh no, oh no. And she was like, I don't even understand why that bee would swing on me. And it made me even more mad because I had to go heat my effing food up again. Okay, so the next day, Bahati and Daisy wake up in their room, and Daisy is basically saying, her body is hurting. She was fighting yesterday, and she had to sleep on this small twin-size bed, and she just decided that she's tired of this, and she's gonna go get the master bedroom. Bahati already had plans to go get the master bedroom, which she said from the beginning. So she follows behind Daisy, and she was like, Daisy didn't even have to say nothing, because I was thinking the same thing. Now, some people in the house was taking that as Bahati following Daisy, but I didn't really take it that way because, like I said, Bahati did say in her confessional when they all first found the rooms that she was tired, but when she felt better, she was going to go get that master bedroom. So Daisy and Bahati walk up there. Bahati immediately starts taking Cupcake's name off the door and putting her name up there. Cupcake is like, girl, leave my name alone. Daisy walks in looking for Teetee, and she's like, Teetee, where you at? This is Daisy. We sharing a room now. So Bahati and Cupcake start fighting. Bahati is tearing Cupcake up. Cupcake is big for nothing. I can't stand people who big for nothing. So then Daisy started telling Cupcake, I'm not saying you got to get out. You could stay here. You could sleep on the futon, but I'm taking the bed. This is my room. I'm here. This is me. I'm not kicking you out of the room, but I'm kicking you off of the bed. But Daisy was in her confessional basically saying that she told Cupcake, I could sleep in the bed with you. And Cupcake said, I'm not sharing a bed with nobody. So Daisy said, since you want to be selfish, then you could get out the bed, period. Then Cupcake saw that Bahati was sitting on her bed. She walks up to Bahati again for a second round, and Cupcake gets beat up again. So Bahati must have had Cupcake leaking because Daisy came back in yelling. She was like, now y'all got blood on my bed. So then all of the other girls end up coming up to the master bedroom because they hear all the commotion going on downstairs. So now there's an audience to all of this drama going on between Cupcake, Bahati, Daisy, and Teetee. Cupcake randomly tries to run up on Bahati again and get her lick back. Third round, she loses once again. Cupcake is delusional. She in her confessional talking about, oh, Bahati keep fighting me. She ain't learning her lesson yet. You keep getting beat up, so maybe you not learning your lesson. So then Janellis asks Daisy and Bahati, like, okay, so y'all came up with this little plan to take the master bedroom. And Daisy was like, I didn't come up with nothing. I said I was coming up here to get the master bedroom, and Bahati followed behind me. Cupcake sitting there trying to catch her breath. She got her shoes on the bed. Daisy said, get your shoes off my bed. Cupcake is like, Daisy, please, because Cupcake is still basically feeling like this was her bed. And Daisy like, girl, that is my bed. Get your feet off my bed. Cupcake did not want that with Daisy. So Daisy starts walking around the room telling everybody this is her house. And they all guessed up in her house. And in her confessional, she said she feel like she came in the room real respectful and told them that she wanted to stay in the room with them, but they acted like they had a problem with it, and it should have never been a problem because she's the biggest and she's the realest. So Teetee came out the bathroom and she was basically like, well, nobody's sleeping with me. I just got my hair done. I just got myself together. I'm really not on that. But if y'all want to run it, we can run it because nobody's sleeping with me. Like nobody, she's not sharing her master bed. So at first, Daisy wanted this bed. But after Teetee said that, Daisy was like, you know what? Now I'm taking this bed. I'm taking your bed. Or I am sleeping in the bed with you. It's either going to be me and you in the bed or it's just going to be me. It did start to low key give Red and Jada from BGC, I think 12, I want to sleep with you. And Daisy did admit that she kind of got on that with Teetee because it was an audience in the room. So she felt like she wasn't about to let Teetee check her in front of all those girls. So they just kept going back and forth saying, I am sleeping in the bed. No, you're not. Yes, I am. No, you're not. So Daisy tries to walk past Teetee to basically sit on the bed and start putting her stuff on the bed. And Daisy says she felt like Teetee energy was given that she was going to pop on her. So Daisy popped first. She ran up on Teetee and the episode ends there. Make sure y'all go to this website so y'all can vote for the most valuable baddie. The person who gets the most votes is going to get the 50K at the reunion. And I'm going to show y'all who are my most valuable and least valuable baddies for this episode in a minute. So on episode 3, we're going to see the continuation of Daisy versus Teetee. It looked like Daisy beat Teetee up. Then we see Bahati and Teetee going back and forth, and Teetee is basically like, we could run it, and whoever win could stay in the room, and whoever lose got to get out. Bahati said, I'm staying in the room whether I win or lose. So we see Bahati versus Teetee. Then we see this group together, Gloss Up, Ming, Hurricane M, Shay, and I'm not sure who this is. But Hurricane M and Shay end up fighting. And Ming basically started feeling away because she said Shay didn't like that Ming got on the show because she was a celebrity pick and she had an easy way on the show. So Ming goes into the confessional room, presses Shay, says, do you want to fight me since you feel away that I was a celebrity pick? Ming and Shay end up fighting, like I said, after they was just kissing on this episode. And that's basically all we get. So for Baddies Gone Wild episode 2, my most valuable baddies are Daisy, Bahati, and Teetee. My least valuable baddies are Cupcake, Coco Chanel, and Jaidyn. I'll see y'all later for Baddies Gone Wild episode 3 review slash recap and Baddies Africa episode 3 review slash recap. If you're watching me on TikTok, make sure you follow me on YouTube. And if you're watching me on YouTube, make sure you follow me on TikTok. Bye, guys.